Alright, good morning everybody. Today we're just going to do some 2-point perspective boxes. Alright. So it's going to be similar to what we've been doing. We're going to start with a horizon line in the center of the paper. Okay. Alright, so when we did 1-point perspective, we had one vanishing point and one corresponding set of orthogonal lines. The orthogonal lines always went to that one vanishing point. Alright? In addition to that, we had horizontal lines and vertical lines that would make the fronts of our boxes and the backs. Now, we're switching a little bit. Instead of looking at the front of a box like this, when we draw, we're going to be looking at the corner. So it's going to be more like this. Alright? Really important to understand that the thing that controls what type of perspective we use is what part of the box is closest to us. If a corner, so this is an edge. I don't know if I said corner or edge before. But if a corner is closest, then we use 3-point perspective. We're probably not covering that this year. Usually 1 or 2 is going to be useful enough. So we're going to be drawing boxes with the edge being the closest part to us. So after we've drawn in our horizon line in the middle of the paper, we're going to put 2 vanishing points as close to the edges of the page as possible. We want our vanishing points to be far apart. Alright? Vanishing points are always going to be 90 degrees away from each other in our field of view. So I've got one vanishing point here. My closest vanishing points are going to be here, directly at 90 degrees, or over here, directly at 90 degrees. So that represents a wide field of vision. So I want to spread these apart. If these get close together, it's going to make everything look wonky. Alright? And that's to be avoided. Alright, so we're going to start drawing some boxes. So we're going to have, for our 2-point perspective, we're going to have vertical lines. And then our horizontal lines are going to turn into another set of orthogonals, going to the new vanishing point. So we're going to have vertical lines and 2 sets of orthogonals. So let's just get started. I'm going to start with a vertical line here, something like that. It's going to be the closest edge of my box. And then I'm going to connect that to the left-hand vanishing point at the top and the bottom. Again, this is a good opportunity to practice drawing lightly because you're not going to need all of these lines. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So I should, in effect, have 2 long triangles going towards my vanishing point, with one side being vertical. Okay. So next thing we're going to do, similar to when we were doing 1-point perspective, we're going to decide where my back of the box is. Alright, so I can place this anywhere I want. It can be as wide or as skinny as I want it to be. We'll put it right here. Okay. So then I'm going to connect this corner right here to my right-hand vanishing point. I know which vanishing point to connect it to because the right hand is the only one I can. It's already connected to the left. So I connect it to the right. Alright? And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to decide where this side of the box is. And again, this one can be anywhere as well. Make it as thick or thin as I want it to be. And then I'm going to connect this one. It's already connected to the right, so I'm going to connect it to the left. guess I should draw that all the way out. So now I've got my box. At this point, if I want, I can erase out my extra orthogonals. Again, that's why I want to draw them lightly. Probably going to be erasing them out. Maybe I want to shade this box. Light coming from up here and up above. So this side's going to be light, because light's going to be hitting it. I'll shade the right side. I'll shade the bottom. All right. So if I have a box here that's crossing the horizon here, same idea as with 1 point perspective. Since it's crossing the horizon, I'm not going to be able to see the top. I'm not going to be able to see the bottom. I'll only be able to see two sides. So same concept as with 1 point perspective. So I start with the closest edge of the box, and then from the top and the bottom of the box, I make two sets of lines going to the left-hand orthogonal and the right-hand orthogonal. I have two big triangles here. And now I'm going to decide where the ends of the boxes are. Again, I can make it really skinny if I want. This one really skinny. Or I can make it really thick if I want. I'm actually going to take my ruler and line it up at the top of my page so I get a nice perpendicular line. Yeah. So here's a thin box. I might erase that, the horizon there, because it's covered up by the box. Get rid of these orthogonals. Right? Now, same idea if I want to draw one below the horizon line. Same idea as above the horizon line, except it's going to be reversed. If it's below the horizon line, my eye level is going to be above it, so I will be able to see the top. Same idea. Just start with that leading edge. Block that in. Connect the bottom, the top. That vanishing point. All right. The sides. Just pick out where I want the sides to be. I can make them anywhere I'd like. And then I'm going to connect the left-hand side corner up here, the right-hand side, and the right-hand one to the left. So here we'll notice that these two boxes are on top of each other. So one of them is going to be overlapping the other. So how do we figure out which one's overlapping which one? We can actually use anything that's on the ground. We can use how far away it is from the horizon as a proximity guide. Alright? So assuming both of these two boxes are sitting on the ground, the one that has a base that's closer to us or farther from the horizon is going to be the closer one. Okay. So this one that we just drew is going to be overlapping. So I'll erase out behind it. Erase out my orthogonals. Shade it. Alright, so this top's probably going to be getting hit by the light because it's coming from the left and up above, so I'll probably leave that light and shade the side here. I'm also probably going to have a cast shadow, so let's look at the angle of that shadow. No, I guess I have kind of a longer shadow. Twice. Probably goes all the way off. All right. Does anybody have any questions? All right. 7 more of these for a total of 10 today. All right.